we'll start off by what did Paige Van Zandt say? She said you come for the titties and you watch the fights.
Come for the tits, stay for the fights, or for the fists or something.
Well, she came for the loss, so she should have been training a little bit harder.
What is worse right now? Paige Van Zandt's BKFC career or CM Punk's UFC career?
Well, CM Punk technically only has one loss.
That's true. That's true. But I mean, 3 years from now, maybe we find out Rachel Ostovich was juiced up. We don't know. That could change for her too. So I don't know.
She's on all the testosterone.
Who?
Hey, Rachel.
Why would you say that?
For some reason, I just assume it.
I don't know, man. I feel like maybe those two have the means to do steroids because they're well-paid athletes. They're getting good contracts. But the regular BKFC fighter doesn't have the money to do like expensive PEDs. And if they have any kind of drug testing, they would get caught because they'd be using like Gold's Gym, dirty syringe, HGH.
All the good stuff.
Yeah.
But that's what happened with that this weekend. Taylor Starling got a 30-second knockout.
Oh, we didn't really talk about the Paige thing, man. I didn't watch the fight. What did you see? Talk to me about it.
I mean, she's went the distance, but she just doesn't look like she's not a boxer, and that's what you got to be to be a BKFC fighter. You got to be somewhat of a boxer. I mean, she was more, in my opinion, of a kicker and a ground fighter. So she's fighting the opposite of what she's fighting in BKFC.
Yeah, but you said that she was going to win, and I told you, I'm like, go back and watch that Ostovich Paige Van Zandt MMA fight. Paige was winning the exchanges on the feet. It was when she got taken down. She got, I think, armbarred. I think it was. So like,
you mean Ostovich was winning the striking?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Ostovich was clearly winning. Like it was like the first round was pretty handily Rachel Ostovich, and she was doing damage too. And then she got taken to the ground, and she didn't do that in BKFC. So I was like, this is a pretty easy fight for Rachel. I was surprised she was the underdog.
Rachel landed a nice right hand at one point, just stunned her.
I heard she has some good counter right hands.
Yeah, not bad at all.
Do you think that Rachel versus Britain Hart is the fight to make? What do you think they do?
It's either that or they're going to add Taylor for the first women title.
Do you think Taylor Starling will be the favorite in both those fights or what?
No, I think Britain Hart's definitely the best woman fighter there.
Britain Hart is terrible, dude. She was like 2-2 in BKFC coming into that Paige fight.
I know, but she's had momentum. She hasn't looked bad.
No, she hasn't looked bad. She got a stoppage in her most recent fight, right?
Yeah, she looks brutal. I mean, in a good way.
Yeah. Oh, shout out to her and Joey Beltran. They just got married, I think, this past week as well. So congratulations. Out of nowhere, dude. Literally out of nowhere.
But he's an alumni of the show, so.
Yeah, he is.
So let's talk about some boxing this weekend. Joe Joyce and Takam.
Yeah, man, it was an interesting fight. Did you watch it?
I did, and Takam was winning the early rounds.
I had him winning the first 4 rounds.
Yeah, interesting. And he lost to, 6th, I think?
Yeah, but to me, that was a really early stoppage. It was like the first sign of the momentum changing. It was like this ref's like, hey, let me get in there and get Joe Joyce's win because things weren't looking good for him. He was looking like he was getting beat up for 4 rounds.
I think a lot of the times here in like MMA that they stop it a little too late, and in boxing they stop it too early. It's weird because like in a fight you got to face adversity. I mean, it's a fight. You're gonna get hurt. Like, let's be real. You're throwing fists. You got to let him fight.
Yeah, he was hurt, but he wasn't out on his feet at all.
Exactly. It's just a complete opposite for sports.
It to me, honestly, I feel like it was a hometown stoppage, and I think that ref was looking to get Takam out of there so they could get Joe Joyce a win.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, maybe run it back.
It's not going to happen because of the A side, B side, boxing, Takam being 40 years old. But here, this is what this is what we get from this. Joe Joyce, he looks good. His stock looks great after the Daniel Dubois fight. His stock went down big time. Like I could see Joseph Parker giving him work. Andy Ruiz would probably knock him out. He's just too hittable, man. You can't be standing straight up like that, especially being 6'5", with your chin just hanging there. Your head's so big. It's easy to hit. These guys are going to counter you all night long. He's too hittable. Yeah, it's good that you can take a shot, and it's good that you have the condition to end fights late, around 6+. But you can't be taking these kind of shots from the upper echelon heavyweights. It's just not going to end well.
You know who'd be a biggest problem for him? Louise Ortiz.
Ortiz would knock him out.
Horribly.
Yeah, Dillian White would starch him. I mean, I don't know what you do with him because he's better than Gatekeeper. He's not a Gatekeeper, but he's not an elite heavyweight.
Maybe if Michael Hunter wins his next fight, that's the fight to make.
The size difference would give Hunter problems, but skill for skill, Hunter's a lot better than him.
Yeah, so I assume Hunter wins this fight. Coming up, we'll talk about that. It is on Tuesday.
Michael Hunter?
Yeah, Michael Hunter fights on Tuesday. So we'll have to get back to that. It's weird. It's on a Tuesday. It's on August 3rd. So I don't know if we'll mention it on the next episode, I guess. Or we'll mention it.
Shout out to the Bounty Hunter. Hope training's going well, man. And thanks again for coming to the show. We'll have to get you back on.
He's not fighting anyone special.
It's okay. Just to stay busy fight because his fight got postponed, the Triller fight.
Exactly. All right. So we have had some UFC this weekend too.
Yeah. Where do you want to start with that card?
There wasn't really much to go on. It was a good card. I think honestly, the thing that made me excited out of that whole card, I think, was the Darren Elkins win. I don't know. I thought that was amazing.
I feel like he doesn't know he's in a fight until he's bleeding.
Mm-hmm. He's just one of those guys that he's not one of those guys you would care to. I guess you do care to fight him, but he's one of those people you wouldn't want to fight to the death.
It's gonna be a tough fight, win or lose. He's gonna give as much as he takes from everybody.
Could you imagine a prime Darren Elkins versus a prime Diego Sanchez in a 5-round fight?
Are they the same weight class?
Well, they both fought at lightweight and featherweight, so.
Yeah. I mean, I think a prime Elkins beats prime Sanchez.
Yeah, I mean too. He's on a 2-fight win streak. He lost 4 in a row, and then he's won his last 2, and he was going to retire. So it's good to see him get a win there.
Yeah, he was getting beat up bad in that first round.
But they were calling it the whole fight. They're like, watch. This guy's going to gap out.
But what do you do with a guy like Elkins? He's 36. He was on that 4-fight skid. He's won 2 in a row. He takes a lot of damage every fight. What do you do with him? Is you just keep putting him in like these Gotti Ward type slugfests and just make fun fights? Is that what you do with him?
Maybe he goes up lightweight again, fights Ryan Hall.
Him and Jeremy Stevens.
That'd be a good fight.
Make that fight. That's the fight to make right there.
That's the fight to make. I think he beats Stevens.
I think anybody beats Stevens. This guy hasn't won a fight in 3 years.
Yeah, so that's sad.
Anyways, moving on.
Let's talk about the Kyler Phillips fight versus Pavia, or what is it, Pava?
Paiva.
Paiva, that's it.
Okay, how did you score it?
I had it a draw.
So you gave Kyler a 10-8 in the first round?
No, I had it draw second round. And then I had the first for Kyler, and then I had it the third I had Pavia.
Okay, so I thought Kyler won the first round easily. Easy trying to score in the fight. And then Paiva won the third round for sure. The second round was competitive, but I thought Paiva was hurting Phillips. And Phillips wasn't hurting Paiva in the second round. So I had to score that for Paiva. Mm-hmm. I could see an argument in the first round being 10-8 for Phillips. Personally, I didn't give it 10-8. I thought it was just a dominant 10-9. So I got 2 rounds to 1 for Phillips. I'm not mad with Phillips winning. 2 rounds to 1 for Paiva. I'm not mad with Paiva getting the W, and I wouldn't be mad with the draw. But I don't think you can see Kyler Phillips winning that fight.
Horrible for someone they're trying. He was a prospect that they're really trying to boost up since his win over Song Yadong. And if you didn't know, the guy was a 12th ranked flyweight, came up and beat him. So it's bad.
I was and I still am very high on Kyler. I think he just kind of got exposed in the point where he didn't get him out of there in the first round. He exerted himself a lot to try to finish him at the end of that first round. And his gas tank wasn't matching what Paiva's was. So, yeah, he's young in his career. It's only like his 3rd or 4th fight in the UFC, I think.
Yeah.
So he's going to learn from this. But I think it's pretty clear that from watching that fight, Kyler Phillips is definitely the more skilled of the 2 fighters. But I think he rightfully lost his fight.
Absolutely. And what do you do with? I think one of these guys are the perfect. Either one, winner, Kyler Phillips or Paiva, is good for Sean O'Malley.
For who?
Sugar Sean.
Oh man, Kyler Phillips versus Sugar Sean would be a boxer's paradise. Sign me up for that.
I think that's the fight to make.
Also, if you didn't notice it, Sean O'Malley got tired in his fight against Chris. What was that? Moutinho. Yeah, he got tired against Moutinho. He was piecing him up, but he was gassing out. So him and Phillips for the first 2 rounds would be intense, but they both would be tired by the third. Sign me up for that fight.
Argument though, with Sean O'Malley has been 3 rounds and looked not tired. He was throwing an unbelievable amount of punches.
That's true. His output was intense.
So in that case, but is there anything you want to say about the co-main, or do you want to get to the main event?
That was the co-main.
Okay, so the main event was TJ Dillashaw versus Sandman.
Hold on. I want your opinion on the Macy Barber fight real quick because I didn't get to watch.
Yes, I forgot that happened. Horrible judging.
Talk to me about it.
I'm not even a big fan of Maverick. I do think she's the future of the flyweight division. Maybe after Valentina retires, she's gonna be champion. That's just my opinion. But she got robbed bad. Like, that was bad.
How did you score? The first 2 for Maverick and the third for Barber?
Any idiot could tell that the first 2 rounds were Maverick's rounds.
Okay. Was the third one a 10-8? Like, was it dominant? I didn't see the fight.
It wasn't even dominated. Like, it was not. It was 10-9. You could not do a 10-8.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm hearing from everyone. Everyone's saying this is like a terrible decision. They're using that decision to reflect the judges on for the entire card, saying that the TJ Dillashaw fight was also a robbery, which we're going to get into. But before we get into this, I just want to get this known. The TJ Dillashaw Corey Sandhagen fight was a close fight. You can't call a close fight a robbery. How we come out here, we tell you this every time. A close fight can't be a robbery as long as the scores are reasonable.
Mm-hmm. And it was reasonable.
Very reasonable.
We'll get to that though.
Yeah, we'll get into that now.
Yeah, so with the TJ Dillashaw, I thought TJ was going to get starched. The big thing about this fight that showed me is that one thing I didn't think TJ had was a chin, and he has a chin. Big chin. Like, the guy took some shots that needed the head. Most people would. I thought he was out for a second when he caught him.
Yeah, so here's the thing. You look at the end of the fight, TJ's face compared to Corey Sandhagen's face. TJ was torn apart. His eye was split open. His nose was flattened. Like, he was beat up pretty bad. But just because someone wears damage better than someone else doesn't mean that they didn't get hit with clean shots. TJ was piecing up Sandhagen at some points, and he wasn't getting the praise for that. Also, he was landing a lot of leg strikes that doesn't reflect on the damage to the body the same way that a jab does, break into somebody's nose. But they count. They have to count. They're debilitating. They do a lot of damage. So wearing damage does not win fights. Fighting wins fights.
This isn't a street fight.
He scored on a 10-point must system. Every round is a different fight. You have 5 little fights in one fight. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. That's the best way to describe it. Might have to cut that out and tag it for the people out there. But like, I honestly thought Sandhagen was going to beat him. I was so happy to see TJ get the win. They were announcing the decision on the TV, like they were about to, and then I look online, and MMA Island's on top of it and says split decision TJ, and I'm like, yes. So I was a little excited when I seen that, even though it was a little spoiler, but I'm happy with it. Sandhagen still has potential. It doesn't drop him down the ladder anymore. I think TJ just needed this win more.
Like we said last week, this was a must-win fight for TJ, 35 years old, coming off of a devastating loss to Henry Cejudo 2.5 years ago, 2.5 years out of the cage because of suspensions and then injuries pushed this fight off. This was must-win. Let's say he loses this fight. After that damage he took, he's out for like 6 months to heal up from this at least. So he comes back, 2022? He hasn't won a fight in 3 years. That's tough. This was a must-win. Corey Sandhagen is still 29 years old. He's still only 1 win away from the title. Let's say he goes out there and he fights Rob Font. I think that's the fight to make. Rob Font versus Corey Sandhagen. The winner of that is the next in line behind after TJ gets his shot against the Aljo Peter Yan winner.
Or you know what fight I would love? If Aldo won against Pedro and you got Aldo versus Dillashaw.
Oh my man! But they were supposed to make that. That was supposed to be TJ's one fight back. That's crazy. Can you believe TJ's older than Aldo?
Crazy.
It's insane. I would love that fight. Yeah,
I want before they both retire. I just want that fight.
They're both gonna be around for a long time. I feel like they're older. They're vets. I mean, Aldo's only 34, but he's older.
Weird. The top 10 is all full of former champions that are, like, I don't know, that are top 10. Like, it's weird. Like, you got Dominic Cruz, Frankie Edgar, like, Jose Aldo. So it's crazy.
Cody Garbrandt.
Yeah, it's crazy. Who's probably getting a shot at, like, they're talking about him getting a title shot at flyweight.
Yeah, that division, though, bantamweight is just ridiculously stacked.
And incredibly. And then you got Sean O'Malley.
And then you got the Bellator side, too. Like, the whole division in itself across MMA is just ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But talking about that, we do have some UFC this weekend.
Yeah. Okay. Let me get that cleared up real quick.
There's not much happening, so we get to break down. Maybe we lost the co-main event today of Shamil versus Dukas.
Okay.
And I definitely just said that wrong.
Dude, this card's tough.
It's a tough card.
This card is really tough. You got Brian Barberina on the prelims.
I like Barberina. He should get the win.
Tough. Okay, I'm just gonna skip to the main event on this one.
All right, so let's break this down. I've actually been really excited to break down this fight because, like, Sean Strickland's like, I'm gonna come forward. He's a come forward kind of guy. He likes to just throw hands, getting a mental scrap. Like, he's this like a Diego Sanchez type of fighter. Not good against Uriah Hall.
No, they're the same height, but Uriah Hall has 201.9 centimeters of reach versus Sean Strickland's 193 centimeters. So that's like 10 centimeters of reach. I don't know what that works out to be in inches, but that's a lot of reach. When you're a come forward dude and you have a huge reach disadvantage, you're going to get pieced up on the way in, especially a guy that's more athletic and faster than you, even though that Hall is 6 years older than Strickland. He's faster. He hits harder. He's more explosive. I think he has more tools between kicks and hands. I think that this is a pretty straightforward fight. I think Uriah Hall gets him out of there within 2.
Yeah, I definitely have Uriah Hall versus or going into the second round, countering him and knocking him out. I think he's going to play it safe for the first round and get a feel out. Might drag it into the third, but I'd like to go with the second round stoppage. Maybe third because Sean Strickland does have a chin, so he can take some shots.
Sean Strickland, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't he used to fight at welterweight?
He did fight at welterweight.
That is a big dude at 170 pounds.
Big dude.
Jeez. Yeah, weight bully, man. Weight bully for sure. But, I mean, I'll probably tune in. I'll probably watch this fight, but not if it is happens to be going on at the same time as Bellator, which for the first time in over a year, Bellator is having a Saturday night card going head-to-head.
It's Saturday?
It's Saturday.
Yeah. The card's not so stacked either, though.
There's some names on here that I'm interested in. So, like, the top 4 fights, you got Brent Primus versus Islam Mamedov. I'm not familiar with Mamedov, but when your name is Islam Mamedov, I know you come from the Dagestani mountains. I know you have a beard, and I know you can wrestle. So I know it's going to be a tough fight for Brent Primus. Brent Primus is a great grappler, but he's been out of the cage for a long time. I favor Brent to win, but these guys...
I know Islam, and Islam should get the win.
You think so?
Yeah, if you're going to put money, it'd be a good bet.
That's interesting.
I would check favorites on that because that's worth doing a bet on.
Okay. Then you have the co-main. Usman Nurmagomedov is taking on Manny Murrow. I don't know Manny Murrow.
That's a co-main?
No, like the fight before the co.
Oh, okay, yeah. Usman. I'll just go to Usman. I'm just going off the name. I know Nurmagomedov.
Usman's got some hands. Usman likes to stand. He's a little different than a lot of the Nurmagomedovs and Dagestanis. He likes to be on his feet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then the co-main event is Mads Bernal versus Emmanuel Sanchez. Sanchez should get a bounce back win here.
Emmanuel Sanchez?
Yeah.
Yeah, he should get a bounce back win. He needs this win too. Bad.
Yeah, badly. But he looked really good coming into that Pitbull rematch. People were even saying he had a good chance to win it. I didn't see it, but it's just like he didn't show up that night. But Emmanuel Sanchez is a good fighter.
Oh, he's a great fighter, but I think he should get the win here. I'd say decision.
I agree. Yeah, definitely. Okay, dude, this fight. If this fight is on the same time, Sean Strickland versus Uriah Hall, and any of you UFC fans, because there are some of you out there, and you disgraceful degenerates that only watch UFC, turn that shit off and put on Bellator MMA and watch Patricio Pitbull Freire taking on AJ McGee. Dude, I cannot wait for this fight. I'm more excited for this fight than I am for the UFC Featherweight Championship.
This is like this is kind of like an Errol Spence versus Manny Pacquiao excitement for me.
Ooh, okay.
I've been following AJ McGee. I mean, the guy started 1-0 in Bellator. You know what I mean? Like he started there, and he's like been 9th, so he's getting his title shot taken in. People were complaining about Tony Ferguson having to fight 12 times in the division in the UFC to get a title shot. He's fought 19 times, and he's getting his title shot.
Yeah, but I mean, it's different though, because wasn't the competition level is a little different? But I hear what you're saying.
But I mean, I just think that AJ McGee, this is kind of like not a stepping stone, but I think this is a step up in his career that he needs. I just think this fight is made for him to beat Patricio. Like it's meant to be. I can see Patricio getting a guillotine while he's going in for a shot or getting caught by the punch because Patricio's good at counters. But I do think AJ McGee submits him in the round 3.
Dude, here's what I'm thinking, dude. How good is AJ McGee? We don't know how good he is. I don't know. I can't tell you how good he is. How good is he?
Amazing.
He submitted what's his name in the first round? The former champion there at bantamweight. What was his name?
Pat Curran?
No. Black dude.
Oh, Daniel Strauss.
Oh, Caldwell.
Okay. Oh, yes.
Submits Caldwell in the first round. He beat Adam Bortz pretty handily. I think he knocked out Pat Curran in the second round or something.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't know. It's just like he's running through these guys. He's destroyed this division. He killed this tournament. I don't know how good he is. He could go in there and just completely destroy Pitbull, or he's going to get caught. I'm going to go on. I feel like it's his Rocky Balboa moment. I really do have this feeling. The way that he's moving through this tournament is something special. He's younger. He's hungrier. He wants that title. He hasn't tasted that title. Pitbull's had the title for years. He's got 2 titles. Him being
Don't tell me you're about to pick AJ McGee.
I'm riding with AJ in this one, man. I'm riding with AJ. He keeps doing things that I didn't think he could do. I didn't think he was going to submit Darren Caldwell of all people. I thought for sure he was going to lose that fight. But if he won, I thought it was going to be on the feet. I didn't think he'd be able to get him on the ground. And the fact that he submitted him on the ground surprised the hell out of me. He's doing things I didn't think he could do. He has skills that we haven't seen yet. He's only 26 now. He's only 26 years old. He's reaching his physical prime. He's a huge featherweight. He's way more athletic than Pitbull, in my opinion. I think he gets it done.
I'm so excited that you said that, but I was going to put a bet on with you. That sucks. Because I do remember before you thought that AJ McGee was going to lose against Pitbull.
Yeah, but I also thought he was going to lose to Caldwell. Like I don't know how good this guy is. It's hard to pick.
You better not jinx this.
I'm not. I mean, the Morning Combat did a resume review. I think they did it on Pitbull, and they're 0-5 right now on resume reviews. Everyone they've done one on has lost. If
he beats AJ McGee, is he the number 1 featherweight in the world?
If Pitbull beats AJ.
Yeah.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, he's beaten Daniel Strauss 3 times. He got that win over Chandler. It's at lightweight, but it's still a huge win. Sanchez twice. He's just had the title for so long. The thing is, Volkanovski's beaten Max twice, but neither of them were clean wins. So if he goes in there and starches this guy, I think that's more impressive. Not to mention that, then you got Ortega's up at the top there too. Ortega has a good win over Zombie, but Ortega got destroyed by Max Holloway. So it's just like, I think you got to go with a consistent hand. I think if he wins this fight, he's the best featherweight on the planet.
All right. Well, we can't wait to see this weekend. Before we let you guys go, we do have a fight announcement that's pretty big. We do have MVP versus Douglas Lima 2. Crossroads fight for both of them.
Yes, this is a dangerous fight, but I don't like that they gave Lima this fight right now. Because I think MVP's looking the best he's ever looked right now. His confidence is back. He's starching guys in the first round. I don't know, man. I'm a Lima fan. This is well documented, but Lima is not looking the same since he won that $1 million payday win against Rory. I don't like it right now. I think MVP should be the favorite right now.
Yeah, I do have MVP. We'll get to that breaking down in the future. But Douglas Lima, people have bounced back at different times, and usually you don't beat the guy who's beating you. That's just how MMA usually goes. But I can't wait for the fight.
Okay, quickly before we wrap up, I want to ask you one thing. If AJ McGee wins this fight, two things. Is he the best featherweight on the planet? And second, does he go to 155 right away?
He goes to 155, but he's not the best because he needs to prove himself more.
Beating Pitbull is not proving yourself?
It is, but I feel like you can't become the best featherweight just like you'll need a big couple wins.
I agree with that. Okay, so that's all we got for you this week, guys. Anything else you want to add?
No, that's it. I think that's it for now. We're out.